Good morning, boys and girls. This is Introduction to Rate. So, what is rate? So let's look at this situation. Okay, here we go. You see that? Glad you can. I cannot. A machine fills 60 bottles of syrup in 5 minutes. How many bottles of syrup can it fill in just 1 minute? So when you want to find the rate of something, it's per minute, per hour, per day, meaning per meaning each. So the machine fills the same number of bottles every minute. So in 5 minutes, the machine fills 60 bottles. In 1 minute, it fills how many bottles? So we can look at this as a ratio. We can say if it does 60 bottles in 5 minutes, how many could it do in 1 minute? So we can divide 60 by 5 and get 12. It can do 12 bottles every minute. So the machine fills the bottle at the rate of 12 per minute. It means the machine fills 12 bottles every single minute. So let's look at that a little bit closer. Let's look at these problems I have up on the board. Robert is paid $20 for working 4 hours. How much is he paid for 1 hour, or per? Per means each. So we'll write that up here. Per means each. Okay, each hour. So let me move this down here. So I would say we could do this as a ratio if you want. Ratio, look, it's got the first 3 letters of rate in it. I could say he's $20 every 4 hours. So for 1 hour, how many, there we go, dollars is he getting? So how do I get from 4 to 1? I have to divide 4 by 4 to get to 1. So if I divide 20 by 4, I will get 5. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. He's getting $5 per hour. So this slanted line is how we say per, show it mathematically, $5 per hour. All right, let me erase that, and we can, my board doesn't want to stand up anymore. It's tired after weeks and weeks of quarantine. So let's look at number 2. All right, we'll come back up a little bit. Here we go. So water is flowing from a tap or a spigot at the rate of 100 liters every 4 minutes. So find the rate of flow of water in liters per minute. So if in 4 minutes, once again, I'm doing a ratio, if it can, if 100 liters can come out of that spigot in 4 minutes, how many can come out in 1 minute? Once again, I'm dividing 4 by 4 to get 1. So 100 divided by 4, 4 into 10 is 2, 8, subtract, bring down. I get 25. So find the rate of flow. 25 L stands for liters, 25 liters per minute. And I'm going to write M-I-N to stand for minute. So I have to know my abbreviations because it would really get long writing answers if I wrote liters and minutes and if I wrote everything out. So I use abbreviations. All right, we're going to look at a couple more. Okay, so let's read this first one. A machine makes toy cars at a rate of 120 per minute. How many cars will it make in 6 minutes? So let's look at this. What do we know? We can do 120 per minute. So let's write that down. For every minute, they can do 120. Okay? How many can they do in 6 minutes? Now, once again, I'm writing it in ratio form because it helps me to know how I'm going to get to my answer. If you recall, in the last two problems, we had to divide to get our rate. But I want you to look at this, because this time I'm going from 1 minute to 6 minutes, and there's no way I can divide 1 and get 6. I would have to multiply to get 6. I'd have to say 1 times 6 is 6. There you go. You don't always divide to find your rate. Here, I'm going to have to multiply by 6 to get my rate. So when I do that, 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 2 is 12, carry your 1, 6 times 1 is 6, 720. How many cars will the machine at the toy factory make in 6 minutes? It'll make 720 cars in 6 minutes. So if you write it as a ratio first, you can see whether or not you're going to have to divide or multiply. And that's the key with rate. That is the key to finding your answer. Let's look at another one. Right here we have, can you see that? A lamp can flash 5 times per minute. At this rate, how many times can it flash in 30 minutes? All right, so for every 1 minute, once again, you see I'm writing in ratio. For every 1 minute, the lamp flashes 5 times. Okay, so this is minute, this is times. How many times can it flash in 30 minutes? So I need to put my 30 under minutes. So if this was minutes, I have to put the 30 under the minutes. If it was asking me about times, I'd have to put it here. They want to know how many times, so that's what we're looking for. So if it will flash 5 times in 1 minute, in 30 minutes, so how do I get from 1 to 30? I have to multiply times 30, don't I? 1 times 30 will get me to 30. So I've got to multiply this 5 times 30 to get my answer. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 3 is 15. So it's going to flash 150 times. It's going to flash 150 times in 5 minutes. So once again, rate, you are looking for, how many times per minute, or how many times per day, so you're basically it's a measurement that you're trying to find. Per, remember, means each. So you are ready just from those 4 problems to do exercise 31 and 32. And then the next lesson will focus on, we'll go a little bit deeper into a little bit more difficult problems. But just keep in mind, if you write it as a ratio, it's much easier to know if you're going to divide or multiply. Just a hint. Good luck. See you soon.